Hi guys, it's Pastor Terrence here once again from the Philippines with another Bible review video. So today I'll be reviewing the New American Standard Bible 2020 update. So as many of you may know, the 2020 or the New American Standard Bible underwent some updates in the year 2020 which actually received some mixed reviews. Some people liked it, some people don't. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of the detractors haven't really read it, and they just instead base their opinions on people or things that they have read from other people or things that they have heard from other people who actually haven't read the 2020 either. So one of the main criticisms was regarding the gender accuracy, which actually is no different or is even less. The update was even less radical than the Christian Standard Bible, which I previously reviewed. And it's not really gender neutral, but some people call it gender neutral. But in reality, it's not that they made it gender neutral, but they made it gender accurate. So in places wherein it was really meant to address both male and female, it just said that brothers and sisters instead of just brothers or brethren in the previous 1995 edition. So anyway, let's get on with the review. So here's the box. As you notice, it is now more colorful than the previous box. This is the NASB 2020 large print ultra-thin reference Bible, more popularly known as the L-Put. Alright, so this was the old box of the L-Put. So this is the NASB or the NASB 1995 L-Put. So as you can see, it's an old style, a more classic design, and it's blank at the back. It has these markings on the side, on the bottom, on the other side, and on top. So it also shows the size of the 10-point font text. So the new one is more colorful, has a more modern design to it, and it also indicates that this one is the black calfskin leather. And it says here that this is the New American Standard Bible, the NASB Large Print Ultra Thin Reference Bible. It already indicates the features, which we will be seeing in a minute. Clear reading type, line match typesetting. This is the new improvement and the best improvement that Lockman Foundation has done to their NASB L-Put, which is the line match typesetting, because the previous 1995 edition did not have line matching. So this also comes in a 2-column text, and also the same as the previous one with center column cross references. But the difference is, as you will see later, that the full set of translation footnotes is now at the bottom instead of being included in the center column references. And take note, this is the full set. This has the full set of translator notes, footnotes rather, because the other editions that Lockman came out, which are the compact and the reference, the reference Bible, did not have or does not have the full set of translation footnotes. But so far, with the NASB 2020, only this L-Put has the full set of translation footnotes. And one more difference is that unlike the previous 1995 L-Put, this now comes in a paragraph typesetting. And it is a black letter text. It has presentation page, family records pages, and in the back, you will see that it will have a topical index and book introductions, which I really like, and color maps. So the back part of the box is blank. Here's the front again. Here's the side, the other side. The other side says, originally produced in 1971 and updated in 1995. The NASB has been widely embraced and trusted as a literal English translation. Now the NASB 2020 improves accuracy where possible, modernizes language, and improves readability. These refinements maintain faithful accuracy to the original texts and provide a clear understanding of God's Word to those who prefer more modern English standards. Well, the thing is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might even be the first one in our country here in the Philippines who has a copy of this NASB 2020, especially in the black calfskin leather. So let's now take a look at the Bible. By the way, this Bible was sent to me as a gift by Ben Silva. Shout out to Ben. Thank you very much. and I hope you enjoyed this video. So, the previous 1995 NASB output had a different kind of calfskin leather. I don't have one, but I've seen it in other videos or photos thereof. The previous edition, or the 1995 edition, had a smoother calfskin. This calfskin, as we noticed, looks similar. When I saw it, even on the videos, it really kind of looked similar. It looked like the same calf split leather that Cambridge uses for its Bibles, such as the Topaz, the Cameo, and other Bibles. So it's very similar. So although the box did not mention that this is calf split, but it really does look like the calf split leather that Cambridge uses. So yeah. So let's look at the spine. So the spine is also very nice in that it now has a curved design. And I really like the curved design of the spine. And the spine, we will see that there are 5 raised hubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are not evenly spaced, just like the previous edition, the 1995 calfskin leather output. But this one is more evenly spaced than that one. And this indicates that this is the Holy Bible, New American Standard 2020, large print ultra thin, and NASB Lockman Foundation. So let's now look at the back. So at the back, we can see that they indicated the ISBN here, which I really don't like. It kind of ruins it's not a premium, yes, but it ruins the leather. This is kind of a semi-premium Bible. So it would have been better if they just placed the ISBN stamp on the inside of the cover instead of on the outside. And it would make it look much better and much more elegant. So, Lockman, please, stop doing this. Okay, so let's now look at the inside of the Bible. Before we go to the inside, let's check out that take note that this has perimeter stitching. Unlike the previous edition, which only had a tooled lining. It didn't have a perimeter stitching but had perimeter tooling, and the perimeter tooling was not on the outermost edge, but rather it was around here on this spot, which was actually weird. The tooled perimeter was kind of far from the edge of the cover, and I prefer this. This looks better. This is definitely an improvement from the previous edition of the calfskin. Let's now go inside. Let's open the Bible. All right. So, another good thing about this Bible is that this one is edge-lined. See? Meaning, it does not just have a paste-down liner, but the liner itself is stabbed into the text block. So, this gives it a more sturdy or stronger construction, which will make it last longer than paste-down liners. Because paste-down liners, especially the paper paste-down liners, which are the worst, normally tears on this side or breaks on the hinges. But this one, since this is edge lined, this one will definitely last longer. However, the liner is not genuine leather, but it's more of a synthetic vinyl type, which is actually good. It's still good. And it will still, I think it will also last long, because even the previous edition had vinyl type liners. Same with the genuine leather and the calfskin. And it's sturdy, even though it's not genuine leather or calfskin leather, it is very sturdy. And another good thing is the end sheet is made up of a really thick vinyl type paper. And actually, this is not just thick, but here's the thing. Since this is edge lined, what they did, the unique thing that they did was they pasted or they glued together the two cardstocks, the end sheet and the first cardstock totally together. Unlike others, they just glue it until half or like 1/4. But this one, what Lockman did was to fully paste them together, making it a very strong bind. All right. So after that, there are no fly pages or extra cardstock, but we go straight to the very, very simple presentation page. And it also has the family details, there's marriages, family trees, births, deaths, and the like. And then we go to the title page. Other Bibles would have a title page and a second title page, but what Lockman did here is that it only had or has one title page. So it says a New American Standard Bible, then after that we have the copyright page. I'll give you a close-up of the copyright page. So as you can see, this was printed in China. Same as the previous ones. And this one is the most important thing, the 2020 text edition. All right. So we now have the table of contents. As to the paper, this edition, this NASB Output Calfskin, also still has the same paper with the bluish tint. So some people don't like that, but some people aren't bothered by it, which is actually weird. But if you look at the Prime Edition, or the Prime Edition, recently Lockman also came out with the Prime Edition of the large print Ultrathin, same with the compact and the reference Bibles. So the Prime Editions do not have this bluish paper, and it is more opaque. But this one, same thing with the genuine leather of the NASB 2020, it still had the same bluish paper like the previous 1995 editions. And you will notice this bluish tint usually in the center. But for me, it doesn't bother me at all. But one thing that I would like for them to improve is that they would improve the opacity, because this paper is kind of thin, although I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is 30 GSM. There's still a significant ghosting, but here's the thing, unlike the previous edition, since this is already line matched, let's go to Genesis, the ghosting isn't that bothersome anymore. See, it's line matched, meaning, but this line matching, I keep on mentioning that, but line matching simply means that the text on one side of the page is aligned with the text on the other side of the page. And what that does is that it minimizes ghosting. It minimizes any distraction while you're reading the text. So let me show you the previous edition. So this is the previous edition, just to compare. This is the genuine leather, a 1995 New American Standard Bible, large print, ultra thin. Okay, so this one has one thin ribbon marker, but the NASB 2020 Calfskin Bible has two wider ribbon markers. Okay, so it has a red and a black ribbon marker, but like the previous one, this one is still single-sided satin. But the Prime editions have double-sided ribbon markers. So the Calfskin still has a single-sided ribbon, but it is definitely an improvement from the previous thin ribbons that Lockman used. So this is the 1995. If you look at the spine, they're different. But the size is definitely almost the same. It's basically the same. Do you see that? So there. So the size is basically the same. The thickness, the footprint, and everything is basically the same. And as I've mentioned earlier, the paper of the 1995 is still the same as the 2020. So here you go. So this is the 2020 and this is the 1995. Both of them still have the same bluish paper. All right? But another thing that you'll notice here is that the 2020, since it's line matched, it minimizes the ghosting or the see-through. There. And another thing that you can notice is that in the previous output, the 1995 output, the text, the typesetting is a verse-by-verse format. But in the 2020, it is now paragraph form. But even though it is in paragraph form now, the good thing about this is that the verse numbers are big and bold. So it's very easy to see. So definitely if you're a preacher, you can still preach from this, and this would still make an excellent preaching Bible. All right. So the previous edition also had, let me just move it so you can see it better. Oh, there you go. So the previous edition had lines in the center column references. So there's a line separating the references and footnotes from the left side, and the bottom is for the right column. In the 2020, there are no more lines in the center column references, and the footnotes have been relegated to the footnotes. They're now really footnotes. Unlike in the previous edition, the translator notes were also included in the center column. But here in the 2020, the references are in the center column. The ones for the left side are on top, and the ones for the right column are on the bottom center column. But on the footnotes, there we now can find the translator notes. Unlike before, they were included in the center column. And here's another thing that kind of irks me with the typesetting of the 2020. As you noticed, it is just the paragraphs are left aligned. They're not justified. Unlike the previous edition wherein the columns are and the paragraphs, the verses are justified, meaning they have the same equal amount of, they're straight, equal amount of lines on both columns. But here in the 2020, the right margins are jagged. See, they're uneven. Some people like it. There are people who like it. And in fact, there was a study that says that left justified paragraphs are easier to read because the spacing of the letters and the words are now equal. Unlike when it is fully justified, there would be uneven spacing between the words, and which would make a weird reading experience. So anyway, it depends. Some say that this is a better reading experience because of the equal spacing of the words. However, when looked at from afar, it definitely wouldn't seem nice because of the jagged edges. Unlike this one, the old one, wherein if you look at it from afar, it looks really neat and clean and organized. And this one, to me, to my eyes, it looks kind of messy. But maybe when it comes to reading, it's better. So anyway, it doesn't bother me that much. It bothers me a little, but not much. It's okay. I can live with it. I can read it. All the new NASB 2020 that Lockman released have this unjustified right margins. So that's what it is. All right. So let's go back to the 2020. So this is the Old Testament. Let's now go to the poetic section. So the poetic section here is really nice, very well done, and the line matching really did wonders for the text. Even though it's the same bluish thin paper, but it did wonders for reading. I would like reading from this. And the printing of the text is really bold and easy to read, especially the verse numbers. Look at that. It's bold and it's big, and it's ideal for preaching. No problem. And this is a large print. And one more thing that I forgot to mention, the text, the font size of this one, the new 2020 output, is bigger than the old 1995. This one has a 10-point font, but the 2020 has a 10.5 font. And this one, the new 2020 font, was designed by 2K Denmark, unlike the previous edition. Okay, so that's one more difference. So this one has a black letter text. This is the New Testament. As we can see, it has thicker ribbons now. The New Testament, it is a black letter text. It does not have the words of Christ in red. Another thing that I really, really like about this one is this. This was not included in the previous edition, but only here. Where is that? Again, anyway, let's go to the end first. So before we get to that, at the end of Revelation, we will see that we have a topical index of the Old and New Testament. It does not have a concordance, but rather a topical index of the Old and New Testament. So it's like, it's similar to the Thompson chain reference a bit. It's very useful. It's good for studying. The thing with this one is, even though it is not a study Bible, since it has these special features, it has the complete set of references, complete set of translator notes, and this thing, or the topical index of the Old and New Testament, then it is actually ideal for sermon prep and for study, especially for seminary students who are studying the original languages, because as I mentioned earlier, the NASB is known as the most literal, well, so far, one of the most literal English Bible versions available. But I think now the LSB has taken that spot. But anyway, that's debatable. It is both accurate and literal. So after this topical index, this is the thing that I was talking to you about, that I really like. Here. All right. There, ta-da! The introductions to the books of the Bible. So unlike other Bibles, which would have these introductions at the beginning of the chapter or before the first chapter of the book, this one has all the introductions to the books of the Bible at the end. And this enables the reader to read the text without any distraction. And if we want to know about the different books of the Bible, then it's all here at the back. And this, again, is an excellent study tool. See? It has summary statements of the different books of the Bible. And after that, we have the parables of Jesus from the four Gospels, which is another good feature, and the miracles of Jesus, important events in Christ's life according to the Gospels. And as you can see, this is like presented in like a harmony of the Gospels type. So it points, so you will know where the miracles are, the important events are in the specific books of the Gospel. And after that, we have the biblical world of the patriarchs. We have the different Bible maps. It's the same Bible maps as the previous edition, as you can see here. They're basically the same. There. So it's the same Bible maps that Lockman used in the previous edition, although the printing here seems a bit more tamed. Yeah. The previous edition had a concordance. And what very small print this is. Anyway, so that's another difference, okay? This has a concordance. But it did not have these other features that the new one has, the 2020 has, such as the book introductions, the parables, the miracles, and the important events in Jesus' life. So after the maps, we have the cardstock, again, fully pasted into the end sheet and edge lined. And this is the back cover, and there the outside back cover. All right, so if you have any questions, just post them or type them in the comment box, and I'll send you a reply. And I hope you enjoyed the NASB 2020 large print ultra thin reference Bible. All right, so God bless you.